Speaking as someone who came into an already established group, I have to say the fact that they've all been so welcoming as a whole and individually has been just incredible.
I like that we're all in the same boat of unpredictability. In the best way. Our set is unpredictable. Things can change at the last second. You can sometimes be given a page-long speech at the last second to memorize in 2 minutes. And it really feels like we are collaboratively in that together.
I'm good, how are you? The best thing about working in this cast, as far as I'm concerned, and this has been true since day one and it's held true to now, there is such a workman, professional-like attitude about everyone. And that does sound unfun, doesn't it? I don't mean it to. But for me, I think that's the best thing.
Because we love what we do, we love working as hard as we possibly can. And all of the attention that the show has gotten, the accolades that we've been given, they never have had an effect of us feeling like we could relax now and kind of take it easy. You know, it only has raised the bar for us to work that much harder.
But really, at the end of the day, it never does quite feel like a job, I guess. It sort of feels like we struck something while playing one day, and then people said, keep doing that thing. We also like watching it, so just if you can keep on doing that, that'd be great.
As an actor, as an artist, when you are on stage or you're painting or you're singing or whatever it is, you always want to be doing it in a safe environment. And I think because our chemistry is so good, because we feel so safe with each other, it allows us to really push our boundaries without worrying about failing.
People that are on series, you're with these people more than you're with your own family, and it's become my family. Season 1 does not happen. It happened season 5. Hit us hard. Yeah.
This could be good for you. Maybe it's time for you to shake things up a bit.
You're right. I should embrace the chaos.
Great.
In a personal level, I really enjoyed getting to the episode where Penny ended up cutting my hair.
Okay, what do you think?
It's a little Hollywood.
It was just fun to do, somewhat silly, but somewhat deeper meaning, this exploration with Sheldon of letting go, you know, and kind of getting his hippie on or whatever, the bongos and everything.
Bongo solo!
It was just fun and whatever.
Stop it!
But it was certainly a side he'd never done before. You know, we'd had him, somebody slipped a little something in his drink maybe, but never by his own choice. So, well, I guess I'll just have to live like this now, you know. And I really liked that attitude for him.
It's been an amazing season. Leonard and Penny, they're kind of in a weird state right now.
You know what? I don't have to stand here and take this crap.
The hell do you think you're going?
Isn't sex after fighting kind of what we do now?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised to read that the writers were getting Leonard and Penny back together so soon.
It really has been week to week. We don't know what's going on with them. Like, 1 week they're together, and then they're kind of taking a break. Sometimes it's nice not knowing what's coming. I mean, look at me and Leonard. We went out, we broke up, now we're trying again. We don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, please, everyone knows what's going to happen.
I think this is actually more realistic, because I've never had a relationship like that, ever. I've not been able to compare this to other people I've been with, back and forth, back and forth. I have. Anyway, you want to make out?
I thought because our relationship's in a beta test, you wanted to take things slow.
Okay. Do you want to make out slow? I think that's my ultimate TV fantasy. I want them to end up together.
He proposes. That was shocking to see. People say weird things during sex all the time.
Not will you marry me?
Yeah, it doesn't go well. It wouldn't be very funny if it did. Everything went smoothly. There's no comedy there.
Another really funny moment, I think, was the painting that Amy gave to Penny. I've never seen my face that big. That painting was unreal.
I wanted to get you something you didn't have.
It was so well written. I mean, Amy was so excited to give it to Penny, and like, what human would ever hang that in her house?
We were legitimately shocked by the enormity of it. I didn't like that my hand had been placed in there, meaning in the original picture, my hand was not on her shoulder, and we were joking that it looks like a man's hand on her shoulder.
And then when we were done with the episode, our ADs hung it up there in the top room, and so we could see it every time we walked in.
That is big.
So big.
And ugly.
So ugly.
the kind of material I get with Kaylee's character is so different from the stuff with Jim.
There's not a hair on my body I wouldn't let this woman trim.
There's always this sort of like underlying healthy curiosity about Penny's beauty and Penny's body.
I'll let you in on a little secret. Originally, we were painted nude.
With Jim, I get to play a lot of subtlety. I think the cuddling with Sheldon scene, though, was my favorite and really one of my favorite moments as a performer in general.
Oh, boy.
The other thing that sticks out to me is the chance to work with Stephen Hawking.
It's an honor and a privilege to meet you, sir.
I know.
They actually taped his scene on location, but then he came to watch a run-through. He wanted to come by and watch a run-through.
It's hard to put it into words because it all seems so cinematic at the moment. I mean, literally, the giant 40-foot doors opened, and the sunlight glared in, and there is the silhouette of Stephen Hawking.
You know, when you're in the midst of greatness, you have a very visceral reaction to it. My heart was just...
Oh, gosh golly, I made a boo-boo. And I gave it to Stephen Hawking.
Wait, another fainter.
After all of that divine-like quality, I then had to do an impression of him where I kind of make fun of him in front of him.
A word of caution, I would not do your Stephen Hawking impression in front of him.
Stephen Hawking was sitting there, and Simon Helberg had to do his Stephen Hawking impression.
You're right.
And he did a Stephen Hawking impression, and Stephen Hawking is sitting right there.
And I was terrified, probably the most I've ever been.
I suppose that could be considered offensive.
I did it and sort of stood up and saluted him after.
He went like...
And he smiled, and it was a pretty incredible feeling.
It was really very thrilling that he has any interest in what we do here. You know, I'm sure his time is more valuable somewhere else.
With all due respect to every other actor I've ever worked with, I've never worked with anyone as smart as Stephen Hawking.
What are you all staring at? You ever seen a man try to get a meeting with Stephen Hawking before?
We're 5 seasons in, and from, Howard in his life, it would be the biggest year, I think, that he's had.
I'd like to propose a toast. The dream to go up into space is one we all share, and Howard's making that a reality. We're all very proud of you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Howard gets an opportunity to go into space, technically to become an astronaut. There's lots of fights with Bernadette. There's astronaut training.
Payload specialist Howard Wolowitz is requested to report to the NASA Johnson Space Center for astronaut training Monday, 8 a.m.
Yeah, but it's from NASA, so it's 0800.
But it says 8 a.m.
You read it as 0800.
Doesn't have an O in front of it.
I got to experience zero gravity.
Cool, how do they do that?
It's pretty neat.
I thought Simon was so brilliant in the way he played that scene in which he's slowly deteriorating at space camp.
You get in this plane that goes almost straight up for like 20 seconds, and then straight back down like it's going to crash. And they do it over and over again, no matter how many times you throw up.
Everything is all rosy and I miss you and things are great here and I'm fine, and then...
Howie, what happened to you?
We did overnight survival training in the wilderness. Big fun, big fun.
We find out that it's hell.
I ate a butterfly.
Bernadette has always loved Howard.
If you're gonna love me, you're gonna have to love the whole package. The tender-hearted poet and the crazy daredevil.
He had a lot of growing up to do, and I think he did most of it probably in this season.
You're my soulmate. This is where you kiss me.
Right.
Make up all you want. Your tuchus is not leaving this planet.
Everyone really loves each other and gets along, and I have to say that that's that's really special and important.
I think we would be comfortable anywhere for a long period of time.
On the International Space Station?
Are you inviting us right now?
I would use every person at my disposal to get out of an extended stay on the International Space Station.
The cast out of character? Oh, would be disastrous.
If we could each have our own bathroom, then I think we'd be fine.
It'd be a lot of fun, I think. Apart from the fact that I'd probably have a panic attack.
I don't guess it would go well for me in space. I'm sweating thinking about it.
Kunal and Melissa and I maybe would bundle for warmth and regale each other of stories from Earth while Johnny sketched us.
I would love that, man. It's honestly not a bad idea.
It's not very different than being here 7 days a week, do you know what I mean?
Or maybe I find a new way to let go and float and drink Tang. I don't know.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Pleasure.